This is Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJOL. It's a Tuesday. It's time for the Money Talk Radio Show, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, unlocking home ownership tips. We'll be talking with a gentleman who knows all about home ownership and how to become a homeowner. We'll get to him in just a couple of moments. I want to first tell you that you can learn about purchasing a home at their first time home buying seminar at NuMark Credit Union's Bridgeport office. It's going to be Tuesday, October 28th. This event could help save you thousands of dollars on your home purchase. Come and listen to the panel of local professionals, answer your home buying questions. The event is free, and you're welcome to bring friends and family. Light sandwiches and drinks will be provided. Seating is limited. Please visit newmarkcu.org or visit a branch near you for more details. Also, at the end of the program today, we're going to be giving away a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. We're going to ask you a question. You're probably wondering, well, what's the question going to be? I don't know yet. Something that we talk about between now and the end of the program will become a question. I'll ask it if you're the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line at 815-254-7300. You could win and will win a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending, joins us on WJL Radio. Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Hey, Scott. How's it going? I
am fine and dandy. I'm sure you have a bit of a smile on your face with rates coming down big time.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I've been smiling a lot more lately.
You always smile. You have a very good attitude. Even when they were at 8.2, you were still smiling.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe it's a little bit of insanity.
That's probably it, or wishful thinking, or something like that. But hey, we're back. Where are you guys? Not to promise a certain rate to anyone, but where are you guys in the ballpark at right now?
We've done quite a few in the fives.
Nice.
I just quoted a big 30-year in the low sixes, so I think they're trending in the right direction. Another 0.5% or 0.75%. I think we're going to be back to like 2013, 2014 levels where the rates where we were nonstop busy, and it's already picked up.
Yep.
Like our applications, not just for purchases, but for refinances. I've noticed a spike in application activity, so that's good. And a lot of home buyers maybe getting off the fence.
Yep. Oh, sure.
Waiting before. So
let me ask you this question. I always say, if there's one food I could eat the rest of my life, it would be blank. If there was one beer I could drink the rest of my life, it would be blank. If there was one interest rate that if the powers that be gave a little wave and a little tip to you and said, Mr. Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending with NuMark Credit Union, you get to call the rate forever, what would be a perfect, and within reason, okay? Don't say 2 or 3 because I know that wasn't perfect. Where would it be?
If I had to pick the perfect rate that I feel like would help like millions of people really with home affordability, if I had to pick the perfect rate, because that's what it's about. It's about home affordability.
Yep.
and getting people to realize their dream of home ownership. I would say, and I'm not going to get, like, maybe it's unrealistic, but I would say, like, I feel like 4% would be good. I feel like it would be 4% would be good. I don't know. Banks and lenders are protected because they have the collateral. Home buyers are happy because the whole affordability is within reach, so it's not run away from them with some of these higher rates, because everything else is getting more expensive. So we can do something like that just to keep the overall housing costs down. I feel like that would be great. Not that it's in my control or anybody's control.
No. I wanted to hear that number, because 2 and 3 were not realistic, and we don't want 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't want that. I was asking, basically where that sweet spot was, and I figured it would be in the vicinity of 5, but you want a little bit lower than that, which I like better. Everybody wins, and I think that's what would be fair. So,
yeah, all right. It's all relative, and when you think about it, like if the rates ever did get back down, to that range, around 4, these housing prices are just going to go up. So it's push pull, supply demand.
Yin and the yang and all of those things. Yep.
Each side of the scale,
Yeah, you got it right. You got it exactly right. Well, Harry, let's get into unlocking home ownership tips here today. Buying market heating up. We talked about the rates. Let's kind of start at square one. The first step someone should take when thinking about buying their first home.
Well, I think the very first step that you should do, you should talk to an expert and get a pre-approval. That's a very first step. And the pre-approval is going to be important because it's going to show you exactly how much you could afford. You might be looking at homes that are more expensive than what you could afford, and I think it kind of gives you a pass to go in and view different homes. It shows the realtors and the sellers that you're serious, and it's going to kind of give you an idea of like this is my range of affordability. So I feel like that's the most important first step.
And that is very important because the last thing you want to do is go out and start looking for homes, fall in love with something that you can't afford.
Yep, and you know what? That used to be almost what everybody would do 25 years ago. Everybody would come in with contracts, so they'd put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and they'd come in with a contract, and then everybody would be scrambling to try to see if it would work, So it's a little bit more of a refined process now, and the pre-approval is always the first step.
Give us a general idea how long it takes to get pre-approved.
You know what? We could pre-approve somebody in 20 minutes, so it's not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like sometimes if they have multiple properties, or if they're self-employed, or if they've got like unknown income, it's going to be maybe a longer process because we're going to need some additional documentation. But if you're a W-2 employee, the income's pretty straightforward, the credit's pretty straightforward. The only step is really the application and then working up the pre-approval. So.
Misconceptions about first home buying. What are some of the misconceptions that you've been able to experience over the years?
So I would say, like, I guess the biggest misconceptions is there's so many moving parts to the home buying process. And if you're a first time home buyer, I would say the mortgage, it's an important piece, but it's not the only piece. You're going to have things come from you at different.
Yeah, go ahead, Harry.
Oh, sorry about that. You're gonna have taxes, real estate taxes to pay for, and it's gonna be different depending on where you're living. Even different states have different taxes.
Right.
Illinois, we're kind of a little bit on the higher end, but we get a lot of extras here in Illinois. Homeowners insurance, we're going to have mortgage insurance. If you're putting down less than 20%, you're going to have other things which you might not think of when you're moving into a new home. You're going to have you're going to want to probably remodel, paint some stuff. The dishwasher might break. Sometimes I always recommend getting a home warranty to cover some of those unknown expenses. So I would say the affordability part is going to really be rate dependent, down payment dependent, and dependent on your taxes and insurance.
All right, credit score is a big deal also. That plays is massive. Is that an overstatement?
You know what? Credit score it's gonna give you greater flexibilities with programs and down payments and getting approved. So a higher credit score is going to be better for that. There are programs in place that actually make like your rate and your down payment actually more attractive with lower credit scores. They're really trying to help out first time home buyers with down payment, or mid to low income families. They're trying to help out the affordability with that. Right. So there's a ton of different programs that would offer lower rates, lower mortgage insurance, help with down payment assistance, and I feel like it's a good thing just to keep the affordability down.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're talking this morning with Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending with NuMark Credit Union. This is Money Talk. $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark could be yours. Did I get the question from Harry already, or is it still to come? Stick around for that. Tell me about your Down Payment Plus program and who qualifies for that.
Oh, it's actually a great program. I always like to tell people, I'm like, I feel like we have the keys to the cookie jar here. It's a program that we partner with Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, and it's a $10,000 grant program. You don't need a certain credit score or debt ratio to qualify. The only qualification for this is your income levels have to be at 80% or below the HUD median income levels for the county that the property is located in. And just to give you an idea, over the last 7 years that we've offered this program, we've been able to help out 217 members for over $1.7 million in grants.
Wow!
So, and it's not a hard process. It's pretty cut and dry. And like when I said we have the keys to the cookie jar, we'll apply for the grant and usually get an approval within 24 hours. So it's a great program for our members.
And someone can apply through NuMark, obviously. What are the requirements?
Nothing. Like we would. The requirements for approval are going to be the income limits.
Yep.
Going to be presented the HUD median income limits for the county, but like we would automatically look at that for every first-time home buyer in general, because you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for it. But we would look at that automatically, like if the income levels are within there, or if the income levels would qualify you, we would look at that automatically and apply for the grant for you.
Okay, all right. And it does reduce upfront costs like down payments and closing costs, so there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, $10,000, and I'm gonna knock on wood. Like we haven't had a member have to repay the grant, so the grant is automatically forgiven after 5 years, long as you occupy the property. But there's certain criteria where you're never going to have to repay that grant, and right here I go knocking on wood. Nobody has ever had to repay that grant. So that's a lot of assistance that we helped out with our member base over the last couple of years.
Can you use this Down Payment Plus program with other assistant programs, or is it a standalone?
So I can't recall doing like 2 grants at once, but we always use it for other first-time home buyer programs.
Okay.
Like either a Fannie Mae Home Ready program, which is their 3% down program with the lower MI and lower interest rate. And we also use it in combination with FHA loans, and we've got a really nice housing impact program.
Nice.
With Federal Home Loan Bank, which also offers a lower rate and lower mortgage interest. So I feel like it works really well with those programs. I can't recall off the top of my head if we've ever done one where there's been like 2 grants, used together, but we continuously use it with other first-time home buyer programs.
Good. All right, let's talk about maybe a success story that you know of a first-time buyer who used one of your programs, whether it's down payment or one of the other ones? Anything come to mind that you've done recently?
I can't think of any specific example, but like 217 members, like 1.7 million over the last 7 years, and like I said, nobody's had to repay those grant funds yet, which I think is huge. It's awesome help to the community and kind of trying to help everybody out with the home affordability, because that's a big portion of it is going to be down payment. A lot of people have trouble coming up with that 3 or 5% to put down, and usually that 10,000 is gonna be a huge help. And we make it easy. Like I said, I can't think of anybody that didn't have like if we're talking about 217 people, I can't think of any examples where it wasn't a success story if they got that, if that makes any sense. You know?
Well, it does. It absolutely does. So I think that's where I kind of want to wrap this thing up here today. Young people are feeling like home ownership is out of reach, and it may be right now. And unfortunately, though, a lot of people want that perfect home right out of the gate. I started off in a little $75,000 shack. And I'm sure you did too, Harry. You don't start off in your forever home right away. So I think part of that is on them, where they are not realistic in terms of what they want right away. Maybe one of their friends makes more than they do. They have a different career, and they're able to buy a $400,000 house right out of the gate. But other than expectations being realistic, talk a little bit to young home buyers about affordability, if you would.
So, and I think I mentioned this before, if everybody's waiting for that perfect rate, like the 4% that I mentioned before, I heard a good saying. It was about 2 years ago, and the saying was, marry the home but date the rate. So it just all that statement means is like if you could get into the home, you could always refinance down the road into a lower rate when the rates drop. So right. You're not stuck in that same mortgage. So if you could get into the home and maybe refinance 2-3 years later if the rates drop to save you more money, that's ideal, because
sure
you would have realized that appreciation in your home during that time period, and eventually get to that target rate. So,
and lastly, how do you at NuMark support buyers beyond just the mortgage, like insurance or financial education, because that's all part of it as well?
So we always pride ourselves on being like a one-stop financial shop. We do personal loans. We have CDs. We're a full service financial institution. Auto loans. We do seminars. I do first time home buyer seminar events and refinance events and investment events, and it's not just me. Everybody at the credit union are putting on different workshops. Went to a commercial and business workshop a couple weeks ago. We hosted in Countryside. So there's constantly seminars and workshops that we're putting on to help educate our member base and help people out. So I feel like that's a big difference than what you would run into at maybe one of the bigger banks. So
yeah, you talk to them when when they want your business, and that's about it. Harry, thank you, my friend. Hope all is well. You sound healthy and happy, and that's what's important.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
And go Cubs, right?
Yeah, of course. Right?
All right. Thanks, pal. That's Harry Stewart. He's the Vice President of Mortgage Lending, but more importantly, just a good dude at NuMark Credit Union. Give him a call if you want anything at all. All right, here's our question. We got a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union, to give away. I asked Harry if he could settle on If the powers that be said, Harry Stewart, you get to choose the mortgage rate forever. It'll never go higher. It'll never go lower. What would it be? What percentage did he say? 815-254-7300. That's 815-254-7300. Hi, good morning. You're on WJOL. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Betty Clark.
Betty Clark. All right, Betty, give me that number that Harry gave me.
I believe 4%.
I think you are exactly right, Betty. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you. Well, it would be good for the seller.
Yep.
The buyer could get their number 1 house instead of their number 2 home.
There you go.
And the house would be at its true value.